The legislative branch. The function of the legislative branch is to make the laws. The congressional joint powers, they levy and collect taxes. They raise and maintain the military. They grant statehood, control national lands, regulate interstate trade, naturalize citizens, they can declare war, and control the making of the currency. So we see the legislative branch is very, very powerful in what it can do. Members of the Senate, qualifications must be 30 years old. You must be an American citizen for 9 years and a resident of the state that you are elected to. The method of selection in any democracy is by the people. Term of the office is 6 years, and there's 2 per state. And their powers are reserved for the Senate only, or they confirm presidential appointments, which is very, very important, and they approve and reject treaties. They are also the jury for impeachment trial. House of Representative qualifications are a little different. 25 years old, U.S. citizen for 7 years, but you still must be the resident of the state you're elected in. Also in democracy, they are elected by the people. Their term of office is 2 years, and their members per state are based on population, which now there are 435 total. The powers reserved for the House only are they originate money and bills, begin the impeachment process that goes to the jury of the Senate, and they elect the president if the Electoral College fails to do so, which hopefully that never happens. Voting options. Very important voting options. The trustees, each decision is made on its merits. They judge independently. Delegates vote the way the folks back home would want. Partisans vote with your own party. If you're Democrat, you only vote Democrat, no matter if you agree with the Republicans. And politicos are the balance of the above. So you have the trustees. Each decision is made on its own merits. They judge it independently. It does not matter what side you are on. The delegates vote the way the folks back home would want. They listen to the people that voted them in. Partisans vote with your own party. And politicos, balance of the both. The U.S. Congress is bicameral, meaning there's 2 houses. The Senate consisting of 100 members for 6 years, much more prestigious. The House, 435 members for 2 years and reapportioned after each census, which takes place every 10 years. Congressional duties are they write legislatures, they are committee members, they are representatives of their constituents, which constituents are you and I, people who vote them in, and they are politicians. Officers of the legislative branch include the Speaker of the House. This is currently this person in Illinois, but the Speaker of the House at the national level is John Boehner. He's the presiding officer of the House. He acknowledges speakers, signs bills, and appoints committees and calls a vote. The President of the Senate is the Vice President. He has less power and is the presiding officer, but may not speak or debate. Floor leaders are the majority and the minority in the House and Senate. The legislative strategists and the committee chairmen are the heads of standing committees, chosen by majority and usually by seniority rule. A standing committee. Now listen, these are important because these will be on your EOC. A standing committee is a permanent group which all similar bills could be sent, i.e., example, the Budget Committee. Now, a select committee is a special group set up for a specific purpose for a limited time. Like back when Nixon went through the Watergate scandal, the Senate set up a Watergate committee, select committee, just for that selected purpose. Joint committees are members from both houses, joint meaning 2. Informal groupings like the Black Caucus, the Democratic Study Group, the House Republican Study Group, Pro-Life Caucus. Conference committees, temporary joint bodies to iron out different versions of a measure. But how does a bill become law? Bills are proposed laws or drafts of laws presented to the House or Senate for enactment. There's 2 types. One is public, measure applying to the nation as a whole, like tax bills. Or there's private, which only apply to certain persons or places rather than the nation generally. Only members may introduce bills to the House. The clerk of the House numbers each bill and gives it a short title, and the bill is referred to a standing committee, where most bills just fizzle out and die. A discharge position enables members to force a bill that has been in committee for 30 days. Subcommittees are divisions of existing committees which hold public hearings or may take a junket or trip to an area affected by a measure, such as when a natural disaster happens, they will take a junket to go out to that natural disaster zone and check it out. Committee's choices are do pass, they can pigeonhole or refuse to report, they can support with unfavorable recommendation, or they can report a committee bill. How does the bill become law again? The House debates the bill. The House then votes on the bill, which they can add amendments, and voting is now electronic. Then the same process is in the Senate. If versions are the same, it goes to the president, and if versions are different, it goes to a conference committee. And the old filibuster, which is an attempt to talk a bill to death in the Senate, which we have seen happen a few times recently, primarily with Rand Paul's 13-hour filibuster that got him nowhere. And for the record, Senator Strom Thurmond held the floor for 24 hours in an attempt to kill the Civil Rights Act in 1957, which did not work. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your United States legislative branch.